Okay, welcome to another edition of the Above the Bridge podcast. I'm your host, Thaddeus Park. If this is your first time listening, welcome and please like, subscribe, leave a comment on our YouTube, on any of these podcast platforms. Also, go check out our website at atbpod.com. First thing I want to do is shout out our sponsors. First, we have Defend Hawaii, and they have a store in Windward Mall called No One. You can also go online. They have some new drops for this season. Go to defendhawaii.com. If you use promo code ATBPOD upon checkout, you'll get 15% off your entire purchase order. Next, we have IRIP Detail Supply, and they're your one-stop shop superstore for everything you need to detail your vehicle. They have a shop in Temple Valley Shopping Center as well as in Las Vegas. You can also go to their website, irepdetailsupply.com, promo code ATBPOD upon checkout, and you will also get 15% off your entire purchase order. Go check them out. They have everything you need: waxes, polishes, soaps, any buffers. I don't know. They got stuff you didn't even know you needed, but go check them out, irepdetailsupply.com. Next, we have our Hawaii Medicinal Mushroom Company, and it's medmushroomhigh.com. They have four tinctures of extracted mushrooms, and it's the lion's mane, chaga, turkey tail, and red reishi. And each one of these mushrooms has a medicinal property. They're locally grown here in Hawaii, and it's a locally based company. Everything's very organic. Uh, I take all four every single day. The first three I take in the morning, and the red reishi I take at night to sleep. If you don't know what the properties of these mushrooms are, go to their website at medmushroomhigh.com and you can get all the information on these mushrooms. Go check them out. You also can order from their online store. Use promo code ATBPOD upon checkout, all capitals, and you will get 45% off your first tincture of extracted mushrooms. So go check them out. Aloha. Well, this week, my guest, as usual, is one of my favorite people on earth, one of my favorite guests, and this will be our third annual episode with my friend, your friend, Becky Mits. What's up, girl?
Hi, Thaddeus. Thank you for having me again. Well, the
Yeah,
first
we're
time was fun, and we weren't really friends then. The second time, we were like friends, and then this time, I would consider you a good friend. So
yes.
we're moving our way up, and I'm stoked to be here again. Of course, I will do this for you every time.
Right on, because every year that's the plan. It's gonna be you and Aria pretty much, and Hoppa at least once
And
a
Hoppa,
year.
yeah.
Yep.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, no, I'm honored. I'm honored per usual.
Well, the honor is mine, and I definitely wanted to have you. I felt pressed for time because you're moving, and I wanted to have your last episode at least for this time around in Hawaii, your last Hawaii episode because you're moving to the mainland.
Yeah, everything is changing and it's changing really fast. Literally, I think how many days do I have? Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, went 5 days left in Hawaii. That's it. I mean, for the
Yeah.
time being, at least I'll be back. Of course, I'll be back, back and forth. But I mean, living in this space that I'm in right now, yeah, only 5 days left.
How bittersweet is it? Like, how long have you been living in that space? And that's your own little apartment, huh?
Yeah, I've been living here since 2021.
Okay.
So 4 years. Yeah, like I think we literally moved in February of 2021. I love my space. Like it has nothing to do with like needing a different space. Although the apartment that I will be moving to in San Diego is bigger than this space.
Oh,
That's not the
nice.
point. It was like the perfect amount of space for me. And then eventually, because my dogs came into the picture in 2023. I got Ramsey in February of 2023, and then I got Solana in December of 2023. So it's the perfect little, they're both bothering me right now. It was the perfect amount of space for, they're just both at my feet right now.
So how's
For
that
the
gonna
two of
work
us,
when you
go
move
ahead,
up
go ahead.
there with the dogs?
So they're coming with me.
Oh yeah, I
Everybody
assume
keeps
that.
asking
Yeah.
me, yeah, they're like, oh, or like, are you taking your dogs? And I'm like, what kind of mom do you think I am leaving my dogs here? Like,
No,
of
I
course I'm
was
taking
more
them.
asking how it works. Where I assumed that I would, yeah, I guaranteed knew that there you were gonna bring them. I was trying to figure out how does one bring dogs to the mainland? Because I know in Hawaii you gotta kennel them for a long time, or
Yeah. Mainland to Hawaii is much harder than Hawaii to the mainland. Hawaii to the mainland, you really don't need much.
oh, okay,
But mainland to Hawaii is a lot more of an extensive process. They got to go through quarantine. You have to have certain paperwork. For mainland to Hawaii, it's way easier. You just, for me, because they're both small, they're going to come with me. So I'm flying with my parents. My parents are coming with me. They're going to help me
oh,
move up
nice.
there. Yeah, it's like just like college, even though I'm 30 years old or almost
Hey,
30 years old.
I'd be with Aria too, so that's how it works. That's how it should
Yeah,
be.
totally,
Yeah.
totally. So, they're helping me move. So my mom or my dad, I still haven't, whoever wants to take one of the dogs will take one and then I'll take the other. And they can just go like in front of our seat because they're so small.
Oh,
Ramsey's
okay.
kind of big. I'm a little worried about her. Solana, no problem. She's small. She'll fit, she'll be chill in that carrier. But Ramsey's like pushing it in the carrier. So
Oh.
we will see.
Can you
But
let
we're
them out
flying.
or no can?
No, you're not supposed to, but we're flying the red eye. Plus, I'm going to, Ramsey, that's enough. Um, Plus, I'm going to put them on some sort of medication to mellow them out.
Oh,
So
I got some
hopefully they'll
gummies
just
if you
sleep.
want for them.
No, I got some vet medicated things, and we're going to be cruising, hopefully ready to go. Because, the last thing anybody wants on a red eye is dogs crying. So,
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna make sure that they're like asleep. Like I don't want to think about nothing. So that's how we're gonna do it. And listen, if they cry, babies cry on flights all the time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Plus, you're
y'all need
never
to
gonna
give me a
see those
break.
people again. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I hope not.
All right, well, let's back it up a bit. It's been a crazy year since the last time I had you on my show for you. And
hmm
the reason why you're moving, because everything got flipped upside down on
hmm
you. And we don't have to get into that whole thing. I did want to say, while getting ready for this episode, I kind of prepped a little bit. And I stumbled on the video of you saying, talking about how you're leaving iHeart. And
Yes.
I watched this video and I seen the tears in your eyes and
Which, by the way, there's a longer cut where I'm crying much harder. I actually cut a lot of it out. I cut so much of it out. But I had to tell you a little bit. I was like, my my personality has always been about authenticity. Like it's always been about I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be transparent. Now I don't have to share everything,
yeah.
but I can be honest about how I'm feeling and that's kind of like what that video was about. So yes, I was crying. Anyway, go on. I'm sorry. You were
No,
watching
I
it.
I was watching it today and then I realized like the sadness and hurt I was watching you feel and I kept thinking to myself, "Oh, if I could go back in time and tell that girl a few months back what she's gonna be doing now, like she'll be so stoked." And I was
Oh
thinking, like,
yeah.
if I could tell her like everything's gonna be good, something good's gonna happen, something great, like this was just a stepping stone. That, and then I realized I did say all that shit when you were dropped that video. So I'm
Well,
like
yeah, okay. So
Nostradamus.
very few people, not very few, but some people called me after the video was posted. Like some people texted me. You were like one of the people that called me after that video, and you were like, but you called me kind of after like, or you call me. You're like a person who calls me in general, which not a lot of people
Yeah,
do. Yeah. So I remember you. I think you were like one of the first ones to call me.
yeah,
I think you saw it like pretty fast, like, and you were one of the first ones to call me. And you told me kind of the same thing. And after I made the video, I had stopped crying after that. I didn't actually cry about it after that. It was kind of just like a cathartic way of letting it out.
yeah,
So I think because I cried, people were really worried. But looking back on it, I'm kind of happy that I was honest about how I was feeling. Like I could have feel like I could have been. Am I still connected? Sorry, the
yeah,
audio.
yeah, yep,
Okay. And I could have faked the funk I feel like, but I didn't. And I wanted to be authentic about the whole situation, and I was. Yeah, I'm looking at my call log now, and yeah, you called me several times. In fact, you called me three times on the day on the day it happened. And you were one of the first ones to do so. So yeah, I mean, it's isn't it crazy that well, I knew, okay, I cried about it, but I knew that things were going to work out the way that they were supposed to. I was always a believer that things were going to work out the way that they were supposed to. I wasn't super surprised about what happened because Sam and Ryan had gotten let go in March. I knew it was only a matter of time that they were going to, take like a morning show solo is not something that is common knowledge or something that
Yeah.
happens all the time. So I knew it was a ticking time bomb. I just didn't know. I thought that they would like move me to a different station. I thought that was going to happen where they would be like, okay, like, listen, we're going to get rid of the beat. Like, I fully saw that coming. That was not a surprise. But I thought, okay, we're getting rid of the beat. We're going to put you on Island or full time on Pop or KSSK. Like, I thought I was going to get moved around, but to get
Yeah.
cut completely was like, that was a surprise. And it definitely was, yeah, it was sad, because that was my gig. That was like my livelihood. And after it happened, there was a lot of conversation with myself, with my family, with my friends of like, is radio my identity? Like, did I equate who I am as a person to radio? And that was kind of like the crisis I was having. And it was a lot. It was good that I had a trip planned for right afterwards. Like it just so happened that I was gonna go anyway. So it was good. That was a really good way to like kind of take a load off for sure.
Yeah. I definitely understand that whole identity thing. When I used to compete and teach, I thought that was my identity. And I
Hmm.
was thinking, like, when I stop, then who am I? But I realized eventually that that's not the case. It's not your identity, it's what you do. Like, you're
Hmm.
Becky, and your personality and who you are is what transcends to your job. It's not the other way around. Your job doesn't
Right.
create who you are. You create how people perceive you at your job. One thing shitty about you leaving the radio for me and my daughter was like we looked forward to your show every morning. And that was part
Uh,
of something that both Ari and I bonded over. Like we would talk about
mm.
some of your segments or and Aria was super bummed when I told her. Like she's like, "What? Well, what are we gonna listen to now?" And she was like, "Well, what is she gonna do?" And I was kind of explaining to her. By the way, she is so stoked to be going on Sunday. Yeah,
The
she
going
like,
away party. Good. I'm
yeah,
glad. By the time this
yeah,
comes out, the party will have already happened. So yes, I'm
yeah.
glad. I'm so
But
glad. I'm excited for that.
yeah, but I think that when everything happened, I just for you, I felt like fuck, this kind of had to happen so you can make that next move to whatever it's gonna be. And what I
Hmm.
don't get is the radio station now plays a mainland show that like blows. I don't get it. Like,
They're gonna be my colleagues because I'm going back to iHeart, so I'm not gonna say too much.
okay. Well, I can. That show is not the business. I know they did the same thing with Star, and they brought the Woody show on, and it was a
Mhm.
mainland show that,
Yeah, because you like alternative music. That's your
yeah,
jam.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that show is better. It's not my cup of tea as much, but the show that they brought to replace your show is, yeah, I don't even know how that's good in the mainland, but that's my opinion. That's just my opinion.
Well, it's been happening a lot all over the country. A lot of rhythmic stations don't really, I
Yeah.
mean, hip hop, R&B, pop, that's always going to be like my favorite genre of music, but it doesn't typically do very well in radio because that particular audience is streaming music. And if they're
Oh.
streaming music, they're not usually listening to the radio. If they are listening to people talk, they're listening to podcasts, which is fine. It's something that, not only did I acknowledge, but Sam, Ryan, and I all acknowledged that that was happening. And so, yeah, like, we weren't like, oh my God, we're so shocked. Like it was like we knew this was happening. And also they say in radio that if you don't get cut at least once, then you haven't been in radio like long enough. Oh,
Oh,
I'm sorry, I tried to fix this.
no
So they
worries.
say that everybody in radio gets cut at least once. I'm sorry, this is gonna bother. Oh, there we go.
All right,
If I don't move it, it'll work.
perfect.
They say everybody they say everybody in radio gets cut several times. So it was not like, I mean, I was surprised how quickly another radio gig fell into my lap, but yeah, no, it's been a crazy few months. That's all I can say about that.
Yeah. Well, there's a few things I wanted to talk to you about. I know for one of the things I wanted to talk about was you kind of started impressing me with the way you've been hitting your fitness goals and
Mm.
how serious you started taking your workouts and stuff. And that kind of happened a little bit prior to you getting let go.
Yes. Well, Thaddeus, I wasn't getting laid, so I had to do something. I had to do something about
Cardio is a must somehow.
it. No, I was just not comfortable with my body, and I felt like I wasn't as attractive as I wanted to be. And yeah, from about July of last year, so July of 2024 was when I started to take it really seriously, like end of July. So more like August is when I started to take it really, really seriously. I lost 30 pounds pretty quick, and then it kind of got stagnant, but I'm still actually within the last few weeks, I've probably gained a little bit of weight back because I've been so stressed. I've just been eating like I've been so hungry, like so hungry, but I'm still keeping up the workouts. I'm still trying to work out. But when I was unemployed for that very short amount of time, I was working out like twice a day because I didn't have anything else to do. So
Yeah.
I leaned out, but a lot of it had to do with that I just felt like I just didn't feel confident. I didn't feel like myself. I had a very like, and this could be very helpful for girls and boys out there, but my libido was low. And so I was like, it like maybe, and I heard exercise does something for that. So I just mostly I wanted to be more attractive. And that's gonna sound like really vain. But it drastically improved my mental health too. It drastically improved my mental health, my physical health. Um, and yeah, like even like my social life got better because of all the exercise and watching what I eat and drinking protein shake coffees in the morning. You know how I dropped the weight is I was drinking protein shakes with coffee for breakfast, and then I would eat yogurt and tuna packets for lunch. And then for dinner, I would get a little fucking disgusting. And then at dinner, I would go a little bit harder. But I would do something like broccoli and chicken, but I would do like a bigger portion of that. And then I was working out like every day. I'm still working out, and I'm gonna continue to work out even
Yeah.
when I'll probably drop the weight when I'm in San Diego. Hopefully, hopefully the stress has just been like, no, because I've been drinking a lot and I've been eating a
Yeah.
lot. And I just attribute it to stress, but I know that I can drop the weight. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna enjoy my time left that I have here and just not really think about it too much as long as I continue to work out, which I have been. So
Yeah.
yeah, thank you for noticing.
Well, it makes sense because when you exercise, you're releasing endorphins that make you feel good, serotonin, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
also once you start seeing results, to me, that's the biggest motivator. Once you're like, oh
Mm-hmm.
shit, it's working. Like, oh, I'm getting stronger. I'm losing a little bit. And then it's like, it's working.
Yeah,
I'm
this
gonna
is a
keep at it.
medium. I used
Yeah.
to wear larges.
So the
So yeah.
results speak for itself. And I notice how hard you're working. Like you said, you do 2 days and stuff like that. And I
Mm-hmm.
think just your work ethic behind everything you do just needed that as a target. Like, okay, I'm gonna take this
Mm-hmm.
fitness in a little more serious and health a little more serious, and then you're
Yeah.
just the Becky Mits work ethic was put behind that, and then the results come. So it's kind of easier thing to do because you already have the mindset and work ethic once you have a target to focus it on. if that makes
You
sense.
know, I always struggled with my weight too, to be honest with you. I always struggled with it. I really don't know what made a difference now versus like all these other times I've tried to drop weight. Um, but it's always been a struggle of mine. I was slim in high school because I was playing basketball, and I
Hmm.
was slim in college. But then when I turned 25, the pandemic, I turned 25 during the pandemic and I was just eating like all the time, super depressed because it was the pandemic. I mean, that was like it for everybody. And then I put on like a lot of weight. I was close to deuce. I was close to 200 pounds. I was like,
Really?
I think at my heaviest, I was like 185.
Wow.
So,
I never even hit 185. I think the
oh yeah, I
most
was
I ever
heavy.
was 160.
Oh my God, that was like my goal weight for a long time. But yeah, no, so I just, well, I had a goal of 30 by 30. So I wanted to lose 30 pounds by 30. And then I did that pretty quickly.
Nice.
So now it's just kind of maintaining. I still want to be slimmer and slimmer and slimmer, but I'm proud of the progress that I've made. Like I'm proud of it. And
Well,
yeah,
I'm proud for you because you look
thank
a lot
you.
happier. I'm not saying you needed
I
to lose all
am.
this weight, but you look a lot happier. And I
Hmm.
think if you're feeling good about yourself, it's always gonna show. And I think
Yeah, well, it
that's
helps
that's
that I've got a new job and I'm moving to a new
yeah,
city. Like I look happier. I mean, yeah, I'm definitely happier for sure,
yeah.
for
But
sure.
prior to you getting your job in San Diego, you took
Hmm.
this situational job for the newspaper that was kind of cool. And
Hmm.
because of your job and what you did, made me realize how many people still read the newspaper. Because anytime you put my picture on there, I got tons of messages, DMs of people with screenshots or pictures of the newspaper. And I'm thinking, like, wait, you read the newspaper? Or like, how do you
That
even
makes me
have,
happy. That means
yeah,
my job was worth it. No, you
yeah,
because you're my like most supportive, one of my most supportive, reliable friends. Like
for
when
sure.
you think support, when you think reliability, I think you because I mean, granted, I have a lot of it comes with it. Are y'all for real? Sorry, they're beefing right now. Can you hear them? Sorry.
Yeah.
No, like when I think about reliable and supportive friends, it's like it's not necessarily a long list. So when it's like, okay, I need somebody to do this for me and I need them to do it fast and I need to be able to know that I can rely on them, I think Thaddeus.
Oh, great.
Which everybody's
I'm the
always like,
same too. Yeah.
why do you call him Thaddeus? I'm like, that's his name. That's his name on social media. It's literally Thaddeus. The name of the podcast is Above the Bridge with Thaddeus. I was like, what do you mean? Anyway, so I think Thaddeus. So I had you in the crave. I think you were in like the first crave poll I did. If no,
Yeah.
I think Hoppa was the first one. You were like the
The
second.
second, yo.
Yeah, yeah. And it's because they needed a celebrity. And I was like, who do I know that's a celebrity that I could call right away to do this for me? And so that's the only reason I chose Hoppa. But no, I just know that I can rely on you. And with the midweek, so I'm under the midweek umbrella, but
Okay.
I don't really contribute to midweek at all, to be honest. But one of my colleagues was like, "Oh, can you ask like one of your friends to do the midweek poll?" And I was like, "I can. I know someone who will do it right." It was Thaddeus. I was like, "I know someone, and it's Thaddeus." So like, you're just so reliable, and I'm so glad that people still list or read the newspaper for that matter.
Yeah.
Between newspaper and radio, it was kind of like a catch 22, like either or could go away at any time. So I'm glad people
Yeah.
are still reading it for that matter. And that's hilarious that they kept seeing you in it.
Yep, definitely. And how did you even get into that? And did you have fun doing it?
Hmm. Loved it. I want the record to reflect, loved it. In high school, I wanted to be a writer. I actually wanted to be a writer. I was writing for our school's newspaper. I wrote for our literary journal. I wrote fictional stuff. I wrote non-fictional stuff. Like
Oh, wow.
I love to write. I actually love to write. So the opportunity fell into my lap. Kelly, who was the previous editor, left for a different position, and she actually recommended me for the job. And it just, the timing ended up working out where I was going to be unemployed. And yeah, and it honestly, I have no regrets taking that job. The San Diego thing was just something that also fell into my lap. A crave fell into my lap as well. I loved, especially the column that I do, Hot and New. I can really be myself in that column and I can really have a voice in it. I'm super proud of all of the columns that I've done. And I'm so glad I was able to do it and I have something to show for it. And it's something that, like, I'm a published author. Like,
Yeah,
when I was in high school, actually, a funny story is when I was in high school, I wanted to be a writer and I wanted to pursue writing for college. And my English teacher told me, look, I believe in you. I believe in your writing skills, but I think you're going to be limited in terms of your jobs if you pursue writing. So I want you to pursue communications instead. And so I took his advice, loved communications. No regrets on that either. In fact, that probably helped me with my radio career. And then I
for
ended up
sure.
being a writer anyway. And when it came out that I was, yeah, when it came out that I was the editor for Crave, he actually messaged me and said, like, I told you, like, everything was going to work out. I told you I believed in your writing skills. And he was like the only teacher that really believed in me because I was a really bad student. I was a terrible student. But I was like, I love to write. I love to write. I'll never like not love to write. I hope to continue writing even in this new career.
Well, you kind of are. It's just kind of more mad libbing writing or
Yeah, I still write, but it'll be a little bit different in terms of what
yeah.
I'm writing. And who
Well,
knows, maybe I'll be a freelance writer. Maybe.
yeah, and honestly, it's good to have that on your resume as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, it was
Although I will say, Thaddeus, I feel bad that I was only there for such a short amount of time. I feel bad. I feel like I should have stuck there longer, but I had to, like I mentioned in the video, like I had to pursue what I love.
yeah, and it's understandable. I think like with everything, they'll find someone else to replace you, but the main thing is you're doing what you're passionate about. And I remember you
Hmm.
telling me that you applied for this a few months ago, and I
Hmm.
thought you would get it. I thought it would have taken a lot faster. Like they would have hired you
Hmm.
before, right after the New Year or something like that. And I was like, okay, well, she's good with what she's doing now, but I knew that was not nowhere near your end goal. And
No, and it just like I loved it. Don't get me wrong, I loved it. I loved it, but it just never felt like fully me. I mean, granted, when I was writing the hot and new articles, those definitely felt like me, but that was just one article every other week. Everything
yeah,
else I had to write about was it was writing about food and it was like food prices. I loved it though. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I got to eat for free all the time. That's not a bad gig to have. So
yeah,
I didn't dislike it at all in terms of that. But when I was in radio and when I was doing the morning show, it never, like, I never woke up and felt like, oh, I have to go into work. Like, I just
yeah,
loved to do it. And I was so happy to do it. And I was happy to do it for the rest of my life, which is how you should feel at work. You know,
yes,
my mom would
definitely.
always tell me, she would always say, like, you're so lucky to have this job that you love, that you're good at. And I am still very lucky that I get to do this job because not a lot of people do, you know?
Yeah. And it's something that you're good at, in my opinion. I've loved your show, and I love when both you were. I thought you were the stronger person when it had Sam and Ryan. I thought when you had your own show, it was perfect for your new
I
gig.
was struggling with the solo
Really,
show. So
it
oh
didn't seem
yeah.
that way though.
Oh yeah, I was struggling. In the beginning, it was really hard because it was such a like because what happened it was like I didn't have any warning. It was Sam and Ryan cut, next day you're by yourself, which I had never done before. So it was like I was just thrown into it. And then as time went on, I kind of got used to doing that show by myself and it became fun after a while.
Yeah.
But it still never really felt I knew it wasn't the best show that I could do. I'm better in a team, and I'm
Yeah.
excited. I'm excited to be with Jesse and Tati. When I had made that announcement, everybody said, "Oh my God, you're gonna love Tati," and I was like, "I already love her. She was the
Yeah.
one who called me.
I love Tati. I knew her for a long time and yeah, I think
I love her."
that's gonna be a good match. So what is your whole new job gonna entail and how did this whole process happen?
So now that I got hired, I can say what happened. So
Yeah.
I got let go, I want to say on November 4th. And I think November 6th, I went on a trip. It was like I got let go and then, oh, I keep doing this. I'm so sorry.
No worries, no
I'm so
worries.
sorry. You can cut this part out. You can cut this out. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Oh my God. I'm sorry. It's the white wine. There we
No
go.
worries.
Okay. So I got let go. 2 days later, I was scheduled for a trip to go see Sabrina Carpenter in Portland. That trip was always going to happen. Like that was before I got let go. I had no idea. While I'm in Portland, I get a call from Tati, who I had never talked to before in my life, never met her.
Oh
And,
wow.
and unfortunately, I'd never heard of her either. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I just think that she's been in the mainland for so long that
Yeah.
I just never heard of her. So I get a call from her and she says, we were having this presentation about social media, and they used you as an example in this presentation of how to do social media well. And she goes, come to find out you got let go. She's like, why are they even still using your picture and you as an example? Anyway, with that being said, she says, we're having this executive producer position open. Are you interested? And I said, I don't like when I heard that, I was like, I never like I was an on-air personality. Like that's what I was doing. And I know what an executive producer is. That's like Jimmy the Geek, who's very good at what he
Yeah.
does. And
I
he
just
produces
had
for
him
Michael.
on a couple weeks ago. Yeah,
Love him. Right. That's
yeah.
exactly what. So I was like, oh, I don't know. Like I haven't really like done that before. And I was like, I don't know. I'm on this trip right now in Portland. Like, can I call you when I get back to Hawaii? She's like, of course, right? I'm on vacation. I was in Seattle because I was going Portland to Seattle back to Portland. I was in Seattle and she calls me again and says, can you stop by San Diego on your way back? Like, would you be down for that? Well, you know what I mean? And I was like, yeah, where am I going to go back to work?
Yeah.
so, so I was like, yeah, sure. And, even like before I left on my trip, my sister was like, I think you should extend your trip. Cause I think I was like scheduled to leave on a Wednesday and she was like, you should just take it all the way to Friday. And she was like, just do it. So I extended my trip. I ended up in San Diego. I met with the program director. I met with Jesse. I met with Chati. I met with the senior vice president. And I had a
Oh
little like
wow.
interview process, which I thought went, oh, I even met the executive producer who I loved. I love all of them. Everybody like gave me such a great impression. And I was skeptical of it before, but when I met everyone and I saw what the job entailed, I was like, I want this job. Yeah. And so all of that happened, had a great weekend in San Diego, which you know about.
Yep.
And
Oh God, forgot about that. How is that gonna play? Okay, we'll talk about that after.
well, let me just sidetrack. It's not going to play out because I blocked him on social media. So don't worry
All
about
right.
that. But anyway, so after that weekend, after that weekend, no, and I do have a little bit of gratitude for that gentleman showing me around the city because I ended up really loving the city. It really like solidified my decision in wanting to move to San Diego. I was like, what a beautiful city. Like he took me to
Yeah.
all the right places. So he like you can kind of give him a little bit of credit for this move to San Diego. But after that week, after that weekend, I had a great time. I was like, yeah, man, like I really want this job. But that was all the way back in November. I
Yeah.
anything. So I was like, shoot, I don't think I got this job. Like, I haven't really heard anything. Like, I don't think I got it. And then a couple weeks ago, I have a meeting with them and they're like, we want to offer you this position. And I took it.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It's just crazy how fast everything is moving.
Well, I mean, I feel like you can handle the speed and everything's moving. I want to know what exactly is your job going to entail for you to do? Like what is your
Mm.
job description?
I will be back on the air in some capacity. It's not going to be as strong as when I was on the Sam and Ryan show, which I'm okay with.
Yeah.
Um, I will also be doing like midday afternoon shows on, I'm not sure which stations yet. That's something that's up to them to decide, but you'll get this little exclusive. There is a very, 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 very good chance I will be back on stations here in Hawaii since it's all under the iHeart umbrella. Most likely Pop 101.9. Ideally, I'd love to get back on the beat. But that station is really like they call it format center, so it's a lot of like outside jocks that are on that station. Besides, I believe DJ Milk and Safi are the only two like local jocks on there.
Oh, okay.
Ideally, I'd like to go back to that station. I would be happy to. That's like my first, obviously my first love, and so I would happily go there. But most likely it'll be Pop 101.9. It might be other stations as well. And yeah, I mean, okay, so the executive producer position, essentially what my responsibilities are is creating social media content for them, for the show,
Oh,
turning that
wow.
station into, or that particular show into a brand, putting it all into on social media and creating like um fascinating content, for lack of better words. I also am responsible for coming up with some of the content that they do on the show, some of the segments that they may have benchmarks, as we call it in the radio business. That's going to be another responsibility of mine, picking up the phone calls. All things I did, by the way, on the Sam and Ryan show. I just was not labeled an executive producer. It's all things I had already done, picking up the phone
Nice.
calls, inputting the prize winners, sending the emails, scheduling the commercials for them, recording commercials, all stuff I already did. It's all stuff I already did. But I just was not labeled as an executive producer. I was an on-air personality. Um,
Oh, that's
and
super
yeah,
cool.
no, my dad was like, Becky, being an executive producer sounds so cool. And I was like, does it?
Yeah, the title sounds like huge. Like what? Like
I
this
didn't
sounds
realize
like
it
that
sounds
show
so
can't
cool.
happen if you're not there.
I mean, ideally, that's the goal. And
Yeah.
Jesse and Tati were so. I mean, it was like it's not just the job. It was actually Jesse, Tati, even Shelly, who was the previous producer, that really solidified the decision because they really are super open to new ideas. They also communicate very well if they don't like something, and I don't mean that in a bad way at all. I think that's a
Yeah.
great thing. Um, and they were so supportive of pushing my career further. It was just lovely. And Tati and I felt like old friends. And it was, yeah, that I wouldn't have wanted the job if it wasn't for their personalities.
I think you and Tati to get together working will be something cool. Like you you guys kind of have a similar vibe. Tati's a little, or she was when she was here, a little more raw, like more moked out kind, but I think your guys' personalities would match, and I think
She
it's gonna
still
be
has
a
a
good.
pigeon accent.
Yeah, she
She
is
still does.
nuts.
And she's
Yeah.
she's so good on the air. I was only there for a day, but watching their chemistry and how they communicated with one another. Did I lose you?
No, you're here.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. These like earbuds don't really fit in
no
my
worries.
ear. But yeah, she's so good. Their chemistry was on point. She's so funny.
Yeah.
She's very relatable. I mean, they were just on point. And she took me to Tacos El Gordo, which was delicious. And everything was very good. And I got there and everything's in Spanish. And I was like, Tati, I don't know what any of this says. I'll just order whatever you're ordering. And she was, yeah, I mean, like I said, I wouldn't have taken the decision without getting to know them.
Oh, that's cool. That's
Yeah, it
that's
was
gonna
awesome.
be that's gonna be cool. Is there ways for people in Hawaii to stream your guys' show?
Yes, on the iHeartRadio app.
Oh, okay, perfect then.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
No worries.
I'm messing this podcast up.
All
Um,
good.
so on the iHeartRadio app, you can see I already have it pulled up. You can go to star 941
Okay.
and you can listen to it like you were if you were listening to the beat or Pop 101.9, and you can listen from 6 to 10 a.m. our time.
Mainland time.
So yeah, so
Okay.
it'll be a little early for you folks, but when you're like,
Driving to
on your
work.
way to school or on,
Yeah.
yeah, driving, driving Aria off or taking dropping Aria off at the school. I was about to say at the airport, Jesus, at school. Um, it'll be a good time to listen because it'll be about 8 to 9 a.m. our time. So,
Okay.
um, yeah, can listen on the app, which
Perfect.
would
I'll
be
definitely do
great.
that. I won't
Yeah.
even tell Aria. I'll just put it on one time and just see how she reacts. I'm like,
Yeah, well, in the beginning, I'm gonna tell you right now. In the beginning, I'm probably not gonna talk that much.
yeah, yeah.
I might talk a bit because I'm new, so they might be like, "Oh, this is Becky Mits. She's new. Here's where she's from. Blah blah blah." But I probably will be a little bit more off the mic, and I'm okay with that. I'm honestly okay with that, especially since I'm gonna be a little rusty from not being on the mic for quite some time.
Yeah.
That I'm gonna appreciate kind of slowly getting back into it. But I miss it, man. I'm excited. I'm stoked. I'm really
I'm
excited.
stoked too. I feel like it's gonna be a slow build, and I think the person you are will add to that chemistry. And I know Tati is like you guys are gonna do some good stuff. Are your content does it is it gonna include podcasting as well?
Yes.
Oh,
That's something
perfect.
else that I'm going to be doing is producing podcasts. I have a plan to do a podcast myself.
That's what I was my
Um,
next question.
yeah, and something kind of like about transitioning from Hawaii to San Diego and what that's kind of been all about, what I've been up to. I It makes me feel a little full of myself, to be honest with you, but there are definitely people who are like curious to know what that transition has been like.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the reason why I would produce it. And I also have friends and people very close to me that believe that I can spearhead a podcast on my own and believe that I have the skill to do so. So that's definitely something I'm going to do. It's very easy from my end to produce it because I'm
Oh
already a
yeah.
producer as is, so like that's going to be very easy for me to do. I just need a microphone and certain sound editing software, and it's going to be like
Yep.
that, so it's going to be super easy for me to do. It's just a matter of what am I going to talk about and how
Do
long am I going to
your
talk about it.
do your shit that you were on the radio. Do your
Oh,
news. Do your
Hollywood
what is it?
BS.
Yeah, your Hollywood BS. Do all those segments. Don't um don't sell yourself short of anything because your personality is what sells. So just do your thing. There's the doggy.
Yeah, I know. She's been on my lap this whole time. This dog cost me so much money. You have no idea. I had to take her to the ER the other day because she had bruising on her stomach. It's gone now, but she had
Oh,
bruising on her stomach. I took her to the ER because I was like, oh my God, it could be internal bleeding. It wasn't. I still don't know what it was, but it cost me
oh
$860.
shit. 800. Oh shit.
But I have pet insurance, so I got
Oh,
like
okay.
a little, I mean, more than half of it back. Most of it went to my deductible. How can you sit there and fall asleep while I'm talking about you being so damn? She is so expensive. I don't know if it's just like because she's like a full bred dachshund. She's like a true mini dachshund, and maybe it's like the cream color, but she causes me so many trips to the vet. You always cause me trips to the vet. Anyway, so I would love to produce a podcast, and ideally that's something that I want to do. So I'm gonna say it's definitely gonna happen. I just don't know what it's gonna be called yet. And I don't know what I'm gonna really talk about yet, but there's a lot of support in my corner
Oh
to
yeah.
do so.
I'm
Yeah,
definitely be down to support it. Yeah. And if you have guests on, I'll definitely be a guest. That would be super cool.
that would be lovely. And we
Yep.
can talk about, Hawaii, we can talk about our friendship and
Yep.
all the things that I share with you that I shouldn't be sharing with people, but we can talk
The
about
OQ.
Oof Quest. Oh,
Oof
Oof
Quest.
Quest, that's it. Which was a success, by the way. I backed.
Congrats.
It was a success. Thank you very much. I finally bagged somebody. Thank God. I
All
thought that was
right,
never
but
gonna happen for me.
you gotta bring them around so the boys can approve or disapprove.
Yeah, I think you'll like him. He's really nice. He's kind of on the dorky, quiet side. By the time somebody sees this, I'll probably tell my parents. I haven't told my parents yet about him, but
Oh,
um, yeah, I mean, I'll tell them eventually.
where does he live?
Vegas.
Oh, okay. That's kind of good.
Yeah.
It's not close enough to interfere with your transition, but
hmm
drivable.
It
You know
just
what I
so
mean?
like, and
Yeah.
also it's not something that I was like. I don't want to say that I wasn't like. I hate when people say it's gonna happen when you least look for it because it's not true. I've always kind of been looking for a relationship constantly, but
Yeah,
I definitely did not want one while I was going through this transition. It's definitely not something that I was like, oh, like yeah, I would love to get in a relationship while I'm moving across the ocean to a new like it's not something that I was like top of mind of. So it kind of happened in a way that wasn't like I wasn't really pursuing it, but it ended up working out. And I think you guys will like him.
perfect. We'll be
He's
in
kind of
Vegas
quiet.
next in 2 weeks.
Oh, are you really? For real?
Yeah, me and Hoppa are going snowboarding.
Are you guys going to Vegas though? Can I meet up with you guys?
We'll be there for one night on Thursday.
One
Thursday
night?
night.
Okay, no, maybe not. You guys are gonna
Yeah,
be doing other things.
yeah, we're gonna fly into Vegas and then we're going to Bryan Head and then we're gonna come back Thursday and then spend one night in Vegas and then back home. Because
Mm.
we're opening our new event.
Oh, can you talk about
Yeah.
that yet?
Yeah,
Wait,
I
I
guess
need to
I
pour some.
can when this
Oh,
comes
I'm
out.
gonna pour
Yeah.
some wine. Okay, so can you talk about this new event situation?
So our new event, we're gonna do what we are gonna call Aura, and it will be at the most newest club in Hawaii, which is Eve.
Mm.
And we're gonna take over Friday nights at Eve. Me, Level H, which is Hanson, and Golden Child, which is Ryan. And I get to work with my little brother again because he's not 86 from this club yet. So Hoppa it will be our resident DJ every Friday. And yeah, we're gonna start on the day we get
Yes.
back from our snowboarding trip on the
Oh, very
7th.
nice. Oh, very
Yeah.
nice. Very nice.
And have you been to
Um,
Eve yet? Or
I haven't been to Eve yet.
oh, okay.
I'm surprised he wasn't 86 from this club yet. I'm just kidding. Taylor,
He
I love
almost
you, but
did his first night there. I making our deal with the owners, I had to put in our deal that Hoppa was our DJ because he got into it with the owners on his birthday when he DJ'd there in October.
okay, so like, I've heard all these stories about Hoppa and about him getting 86 from certain clubs, and I didn't see it in real life until I saw it once and it was about the Eagles. It was about the Eagles, which I know he's just insufferable now, but
Yeah,
I
we're
just
not
know he's
gonna go there.
insufferable. But I saw that and I was like, this is about the Eagles? You're making this big deal about the Eagles? Are you serious? But
Yeah.
anyway, no, I'm happy for you. Congratulations on Eve, and I hope Friday nights are successful. I mean, I'll do what I can to promote it. I'm not going to be in Hawaii anymore, but you
Yep.
know.
And when you visit, then you can come check us out. For me personally, I was kind of enjoying being done with it. I was kind of okay. My time is done promoting, and I'm cool
Mhm.
with it. And
Mhm.
this opportunity came up, and the ability to work with the people I want to work with one more time, with Hanson and Taylor and Ryan, but especially to have one more go at it with that group. I think for
Mhm.
me is what got me to want to do it one more time and we'll see how this goes and this will probably be our last or my last weekly event. Hanson kind of said the same thing too, but
Mhm.
um I think for me as a promoter my time is kind of on the back end and I'm cool with it. I
You
don't
want to
want to
keep
be
promoting until Arya can actually get into these clubs?
oh, that would suck. for her. Like she would not have fun. Yeah. She can drink
Okay,
water,
so
sit in the corner, and not talk to anybody.
I know, I already know, I already know
Yeah.
you would be so hovering. Oh my God,
Oh
you're already
yeah.
hovering now. I already
Yep.
know. So are you gonna make, my question is, are you gonna make Arya a part of your wedding?
She actually was asked by Sasha to be her maid of honor or
Mm.
maid of honor, matron of honor, one of
Matron
those.
is when you're married.
Okay,
Maid.
maid of honor then. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Oh my
she was to the
God.
moon. Like she was picking out
Oh,
her dress and like yeah, it was a thing. Yeah. Sasha made like a little box for her and she opened it up and
cute.
yeah. So
Oh
it
my
was cool. Yeah,
God.
she's stoked. And my biggest part was when I had to tell her that I was gonna propose. And for me, I was super nervous. So I took her to Disneyland. That's where I did it. But
By
I
the way,
was
whenever you come to Disneyland, please let me know because like I can drive there now.
oh yeah.
So
It might be in June.
okay.
Yeah. But so I asked her and honestly she could have 86 the whole fucking thing. If she said no, that I don't want that, then well, Sasha's out of luck. Man, I'm not getting married. So it was all on her, you know what I mean? But the first thing she said when I told her, I said, "Oh, Daddy's gonna propose to Auntie Sasha," and she said, "What? That wedding's gonna be the most funnest wedding ever." And I was like, "Oh, okay, we're good." Like, and I did it at the hotel when we were at Disneyland, and then that was kind of my trip for multiple reasons. One,
Hmm.
uh she was a teenager and I had to let go of her being a little kid. It was just
Yeah.
me and her that trip and
Hmm.
I had to tell her that I was proposing. So for me
Hmm.
that trip was like very important and it was how she found out and she's been super supportive of it and when Sasha asked her and she didn't really understand what a bridesmaid was and she kind of did her little research or whatever and like she's like so stoked. It's kind of cool. Yeah.
I was my sister's maid of honor and it was so much fun. It's such an honor. I was my brother's best man. So I've been on both sides. I've been on both. I've been a bridesmaid too as well, and it's so much fun and dressing up and putting on makeup and just doing that whole
Yeah.
process is so much fun. I didn't think she was gonna say anything differently because it seems like her and Sasha have a great relationship.
Yeah, yeah. It was just I the whole thing like with when like we're adding somebody else to our family and yeah, it was just like I thought it would go okay, but I did feel like it could have went like oh like she might have been a little standoffish about it or like
Hmm.
feeling some kind of way. But yeah, it worked out.
How long were you with Sasha before you proposed, and were you getting pressure to propose?
Oh yeah, I was getting pressure, and the more pressure I got, the more I pushed it back. Cause fucking nobody's gonna make me do something. Like I was down to do it earlier. Then oh, when are you gonna do it? You should do it now. I say okay, now you're gonna fucking make her wait because I think 8 years, 6 years, 6 years, 8 years. I don't know. A
Damn.
while. Yeah.
Damn. Okay,
But
so can I
see,
ask
I
a
was married before, you know what I mean? So it's
right, right,
like,
right, right.
yeah, yeah.
Can I ask a personal question? Are you
Yeah, for
down to
sure.
have more kids with
Yup, it's
Sasha?
gonna happen for sure. Gonna start all over again.
Damn, you said that so fast too.
Yeah. I'm not against it. Honestly, to my surprise, when I thought about it, and I I if I could have a choice, I would want another daughter, which I didn't think. Well, when I first was having a child, I wanted a son, and then I had Arya. But because of Arya, I would want another daughter, I think.
Listen,
We'll
my
see.
dad has two girls. Well, he has two girls and a boy, but Lord knows that Becky Mits is the light of dad's life. So
Oh, 100%. I would bank on that. Yeah,
I
your
tell
siblings don't have a chance.
I have like several friends who have had babies, right? And one of my friends, gender reveal, was disappointed to have a girl. And I told her boyfriend, I think fiance now, I was like, bro, I am the light of my dad's life. Like you, I was like, having a daughter is the best thing ever. And then now, the baby's 1 year old and it's definitely like the light of their lives. And I was like, I
Yeah.
told you, I know this. Having a
Yeah.
girl is the best. So
I
I'm not
agree.
surprised by that.
Yeah.
Um,
I was kind of surprised because I always wanted a boy. And now if I were I would if I had a choice, I would pick a girl. Yeah.
mm,
Heaven knows
that's
the
really
earth
nice though.
doesn't need another boy Thaddeus running around.
Oh, why not? You're the most, I told you, you're one of my most supportive friends.
Yeah.
You're always there, super reliable. You always include me. Um, at the Super Bowl part, you invited me to the Super Bowl party, which I didn't tell anybody I was in Vegas, so I I had to decline.
Yeah.
By the time this comes out, it's fine. But at the time, I didn't tell anybody because I was like, I didn't tell anybody because I knew I was going to move to San Diego and I didn't want people to be like, oh my God, you should be saving money and not going to
Oh yeah.
Vegas and hanging out with your boyfriend. But whatever, I did it anyway. No
Yep, of
regrets.
course. Yep. No
No regrets.
quest
Oh, oh
successful.
my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so
No
sorry. It's
worries.
the white wine or something. But yeah, no, I didn't know that you were like, ready to have or not ready, but like open to having more kids. And I love
Yeah.
that. I'm super excited well, first of all, let me just say, I'm excited to MC your wedding.
Oh, that's
Um,
gonna be the shit.
am I allowed to partake in some wine? I'll be
Oh no,
professional.
we're
I want the
getting
rest.
fucked up that night. Everybody's getting fucked up that night. A
Okay, so it's cool
Thaddeus
for me to.
wedding, everybody's getting trashed. My proposal, I got trashed. Yeah.
So it's okay. It's okay for me to drink while
Oh
being an
hell yeah.
MC.
It was to be without saying. Like I expect you
Okay.
to be emceeing drunk. Yeah.
I
Don't
hope so.
yeah.
Which, by the way, like I had to, I canceled all of my gigs except for yours. That's the only one I did.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, one and like two gigs I didn't cancel, and I didn't cancel yours. So I mean, well, mostly because they felt like I was like, I mean, I'm working, but I felt like I was an invite, like I was a guest
Yeah,
more
you'd
than I
be
was.
there anyway,
Yeah,
regardless. Yeah.
yeah, I felt like I was more of a guest. So I was
Yeah.
like, you would go if you were invited as a guest. So I would
Yeah.
go if I was working as well.
And
So
you have a plus one too.
I
Yeah.
hope you like him, man. I mean, listen, I hope we make it till
He
then. Shoot.
better hope we like him. I don't care if we don't like him. He gotta care if we like him.
Well, okay, this is the main thing. I like him, and that's the
All
main
right.
thing,
Yeah, it
right? That's the
is.
main
It
thing here.
is. Gonna
That's
have
the
to
main thing
flex on
here.
him a little bit, but
No, he's very he's on the quieter side, and he's on the more like reserved. He's kind of dorky a little bit, but not super dorky, not like crazy dorky. But yeah, no, I think the day of your wedding is his birthday, if I
oh,
remember
nice.
correctly. So
July
hopefully he
12th.
makes it.
Yep.
July 12th. Yeah, this is his birthday.
Yep.
Um,
Well, you can bring him. That'll be cool. Well,
mhm.
hopefully we'll meet him before then. Like I said, we might be going to Disneyland. We'll find out soon. We have a
Yeah.
national championship for Aria's volleyball, which is either going to be in Anaheim or
Hmm.
Dallas. And
Oh shoot.
hopefully it's in Anaheim. It's looking more that way. So if that's the case, it'll be, I think, the first week of June. Yeah.
Okay.
And then after the tournament, we're gonna, of course, it's in Anaheim. We're gonna go Disneyland for like a couple
Oh
days.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, if anything, I'll be there.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That would be
Yeah, if
super
anything,
cool.
I'll be there. But if you're ever in Vegas, I'll like come and meet you, and then
We're
we'll
gonna
hang out
be
then.
we're gonna be in Vegas in April.
Which day in April?
It will be the Easter weekend.
Also
Yeah.
later April.
Yeah. Aria has
Okay.
a national tournament there, and we'll be there
Shoot.
for you know what weekend that is? They have WrestleMania there that
Oh
weekend.
shit.
Yeah, and they have Motley Crue has a residency there.
So Easter weekend, so like the 18th, 19th, 20th.
Yeah. So I think we
Okay.
fly up on Tuesday and we'll leave on Monday. I think that's our schedule. Yeah.
Okay. I my 30th birthday is April 5th. So I might
Oh,
come down. Oh, I'm so sorry.
no worries. All
To
good.
anything. Anyway, so no, because like the relationship that I'm in, it's a little bit of like he comes to me, I go to him. So I think he's coming to me in March. So I'll go to him in April
Okay.
and I'll meet you. I think I would love to meet you in Vegas.
Oh yeah, we'll be there. That would be super cool. Yep. That one
Yeah.
is booked.
Yeah.
That's a guarantee. That one is
Okay,
booked
yeah,
already.
let's do
Yep.
that. Let's do that.
Okay.
I guess everybody else is involved with the
Oh yeah.
plans. Everybody
Yeah.
listening right now, I guess, is involved with the plans. But yeah, okay,
Yeah.
let's meet in April.
Arya's gonna have a little cheering section. Like so many people I know live in Vegas that want to see her play too. And like,
Oh yeah, no, I'd be
yeah,
so down. I'd be
it's gonna be
so
fun.
down.
It's
I'd
gonna
be
be a
so
fun
down.
one.
Definitely,
That'll
I'd
be
be so
cool.
down. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. So yeah, okay, let's do that. I'm glad that like yeah, because like you know, leaving Hawaii is tough,
Yeah.
but having a man that lives in Vegas and then living in San Diego makes it a little bit easier because everybody wants to visit either or. So it's like,
Yeah.
look, if you want to go to Vegas, I'll meet you in Vegas. It's like a double, you know what I mean? Like I get to see him. I also get to see whoever's coming to Vegas. And then if a lot of people come to San Diego or even Disneyland, I
Yeah.
think Disneyland is like maybe an hour and a half
Yeah.
drive from San Diego.
Cause I
That's
drove
not too bad.
from Anaheim to Legoland and yeah, it wasn't too
Hmm.
bad. The
Hmm.
Vegas too, everybody will end up there. Like Hoppo goes like every
Hmm.
other month. Like hell,
Hmm.
we're going in 2 weeks. But
Hmm.
yeah, I always end up there. I don't like Vegas and I end up there at least
What
three
do you mean
times
you
a
don't
year.
like Vegas?
I just get into too much stupid shit and alcohol and like it's just the same. You know what I mean? To me, it's like
Yeah.
the same. But like it's always one of my friends is gonna fight and I'm gonna go watch, or then it was Hanson's bachelor party, or then Sasha wanted to go to the Usher concert, or then it was like,
By the way,
okay,
it was so good. Usher
yeah.
concert is so good.
Yeah, and then I didn't go, but she went. And then Hoppa's brother graduated, and then I'm like,
Hmm.
I get drawn back there. Like, oh, Arya's gonna have a tournament there. Oh, we're gonna go Vegas for to snowboard. Like, we're gonna meet in Vegas and drive up. I was like, it's just
Hmm.
I'm always there. So yeah,
Where
that'll
are you
work.
guys staying when you go this next time?
We're gonna stay at Resort World
Oh, okay.
because Hoppa's brother works there. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
Right on.
anybody needs
Easy.
a hotel, go hit up Hoppa's brother at Resort World. He'll take care.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna take your word for that. I feel like I'm
Yeah.
friends. I'm enough. I'm close enough with Taylor that I can
Oh,
take
for
that
sure.
opportunity.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. And his brother will set you up. His brother is like get building a reputation and working his way up. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna take your word for that. Poor
Yep,
Taylor.
just hit him
But I
up.
think Taylor's
Yeah.
coming on. I think Taylor's coming to my going away party at least for a little bit. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah,
We'll all
that'll
be
be
there. Yep.
yeah. I
And then
invited Jordan as well. Is that his
Jordan,
name? No, what's
which
his
one?
name? Shoot. Is it not Jordan? Hold on.
From where?
No, he's one of your friends. What
Oh,
is his
Big
name?
Jordan?
Yes.
One of Arya's coaches?
No.
Oh,
Yes. Is he one of Arya's coaches? I know you
yeah.
guys are friends. The reason we became friends is because I spilt so much at Friendsgiving that he ended up being one of the people that just heard all this bullshit that I had to
Oh,
say.
that Jordan. Oh, okay, yeah,
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 that's
yeah,
him.
yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah,
how do
yeah.
you know Jordan?
Yeah, no, he came to
That makes
Friendsgiving
that's right.
and he kind of just like got like emotionally dumped by me. Like I just dumped a bunch of like a bunch of shit that was happening. Well, mostly because at Friendsgiving I was so drunk, which I was so
Oh
embarrassed
yeah.
by, but I was so drunk, just sharing way
That
too much
was
information.
that was a random night in so many different ways. Like I have a picture that I cannot explain and I could not have predicted would have happened. and it was on the bed with three people that was
Was
like
I there?
just yes, you were part of the picture.
I remember now. What's a bed with three girls? That's a lot of men's fantasy. Okay,
Yeah, but
so
who the girls were on that bed, it was just like, oh shit, this is fucking different. I'm just like, I didn't expect that to happen. Like for certain
I was
people to
so
show
drunk.
up. I didn't
I
expect
was so
certain
drunk.
people to show up that day.
Is that person back in Hawaii?
Was and then moved back. Or
Oh, okay, okay,
she
okay,
she moved. She's moving.
okay, okay.
She just had to come back for to get her stuff, I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh yeah, frick, I know all about that. I got so much
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah,
I know
so
all
get
about
back to
that.
your story. Like since you figured out you're gonna move, what was the process of what was gonna happen next? What happened next?
So luckily, this condo is owned by my parents and I, so we
Oh,
can rent
okay.
this out. Yeah, so
Oh,
it's not too bad.
nice.
It's not like I like had to break a lease or anything. So a lot of this stuff is gonna stay here. It's up to my parents what they want to do with it. If they want to get rid of stuff, if they want to, redo stuff in this apartment,
Oh,
it's
that's
up to them.
perfect.
Yeah. So in terms of like, you got to make sure it's like clean, get your deposit back. I don't have to worry about any of that.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's been great. I did find an apartment in San Diego, which is awesome. It has a basketball court, which if you know anything about me, I love basketball, so I'm definitely going to be taking advantage of that. It's
Perfect.
pet friendly. Yeah, it's pet friendly. Yeah, so right now I've just been kind of like deciding what I want to take with me immediately. And then there's some other stuff that I'm like, maybe I'll take it with me later on. So here I can show you. But like, okay, so I have like this box is going to go in storage for now. And then I have all
Okay.
these boxes over here that maybe I'll take with me. That's a donation box right here. This suitcase I'm taking with me. And yeah, it's just kind of just figuring out what I'm going to do and what I'm going to take and all that fun stuff. And it's been stressful, Thaddeus. Super stressful. I had to deal with shipping my car. So I had to,
Oh
I'm
yeah.
shipping my car. There's so much paperwork involved with shipping your car. And then when
Oh
I called
wow.
to schedule my appointment, they were like, we can't do the day that you have to do. So my brother is going to drop off the car. And then I had to get a form to make sure my brother could drop off the car. It's been a lot. It's been a
How
lot. I've
how
been
long does it
stressed.
take to get there?
It's going to take a while, at least a couple of weeks. So
Okay.
hopefully I figure out some sort of solution in terms of getting to work and back. So we get there on the 27th in the morning. We move in on the 27th. So like the timing worked out perfectly.
Okay.
Um, I move in on the 27th, so I'll probably just, bring all the suitcases over there, all my clothes, and then we'll probably go furniture shopping is my guess.
Yeah.
And then my parents leave on the 4th.
Okay.
My first day is on the 3rd, girls'
Oh,
day.
okay. Nice.
Yeah,
How did you
yeah.
find the apartment? Have you like physically been in it or you just
I
virtually?
haven't, which is a risk, bro. It's a fucking risk. But
Yeah.
I had to do what I had to do. Like I knew I had to move fast. I consulted with quite a few people I know who have lived in San Diego, are from San Diego, currently living in
Okay.
San Diego. I have several people I know, and they kind of told me the areas to avoid. I have a cousin that lives in San Diego. I have a couple of cousins. So I have a cousin that lives like close to San Diego. I think he's like an hour away. And then I have another cousin that lives in San Diego, and they kind of like helped me with certain areas that I should avoid. I did a lot of research on where to live and read a lot of Yelp reviews, Google reviews, apartment.com
Okay.
reviews. Yeah, I did a lot of research. So I'm going to be living downtown. I'll leave it at that so nobody stalks me. But what's so funny you say that is my dad texted me the other day. He goes, "Oh, can you call so and so? He knows law enforcement in San Diego." I was like, "Dad, I'm 30. I'm 30, Dad. I don't need this. I'm not going back to college. Like I'm a full grown adult. But he's like, can you just call them? Because they know law enforcement in San Diego. And so I called this gentleman. I don't even know what he does for a living. I have no idea. He could be a goon for all I know. I have no idea. But he was
He
like,
could be the one stalking you.
he was like, Oh, I know several people in San Diego. Like, we're gonna, since your parents are gonna be up there, we're gonna set up a meeting with them. I'm like, oh my God, like I don't need any of this shit. But I haven't told my dad that I have a boyfriend. So like, I
Oh,
think somebody was telling me you should tell him so he feels more like
that
secure,
you're,
like
yeah, you're
especially
locked
since he's
in,
like,
kind.
yeah, especially since he's like 6'2", muscular, half black, half white. Like he's gonna be a bit more of a protector than
Oh,
some of these
okay.
other men I've dated in the past. Lord.
Some
So
DJ. Never mind.
listen, listen, it's been fine. It's been fine. I don't regret any of my past decisions, but I think he'll feel a little more secure knowing that there's somebody who's like a bit more of a protector than anybody that I've dated. Gonna make him feel a little bit better. Even though he doesn't live in San Diego, like still I think it'll make him feel.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the reason why my dad feels the way that or treats me the way that he does is because he feels like I'm all alone and I'm not.
Yeah.
And not just in a relationship aspect, but in a friendship aspect. Like I could call
Yeah.
you, I could
Yeah.
call Chris.
Yeah.
There's so many people I could call at the drop of a dime who would, support me.
For
So
sure.
I'm not truly alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's a 5 hour flight. It's not like you're in New York and shit. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And they do a lot of direct flights to San Diego. So yeah, it'll I hope you visit.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, good. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know anything about Legoland, but
Yeah. But I mean,
oh my God, Becky, Jesus.
Niners will play Chargers eventually. Oh, that's in LA though. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I could still make the drive.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could still make the
But I
drive.
kind
Let me
of
see.
I know Hanson likes San Diego. He got some connections there too.
Oh,
So
does he?
yeah,
I
like
love
club kind
Hanson.
stuff. Yeah. And then so you're gonna move your car, you got your apartment, you got your job. Um what I wanted
It's a
to
2-hour drive to SoFi Stadium. I would do it for you.
okay. All right.
That's
You
not
gotta
bad.
wear red though.
I'll do it. I'll do
Yeah.
it. But if
Oh, that'd be
anything,
kind of
I'll
cool.
fly.
Well,
Like
guarantee,
If you go to San
guarantee.
Francisco, I'll fly.
Okay. Well, I
Yeah.
guarantee gonna do that. But
Yeah.
I wanted to go SoFi and Niners will play there every single year because we play the Rams twice because they're in our
Mm,
division. So
right.
one is in San Francisco, one will be at SoFi every single year. Yeah.
Yeah. So whichever one you do, like I would love
Okay.
to make that journey.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That would
It's
be
way
cool.
cheaper. It's way cheaper than it
Oh
is to
yeah.
fly like from Hawaii. So it would be, easy
Yeah.
peasy for me. Anyway, what were you saying? I'm
Definitely.
sorry.
Um, Other than like friends and family and all that kind of stuff, what will be the three things that you're gonna miss from living in Hawaii?
Mm. Zippies, and that's not sponsored. I'll miss Zippies a lot.
Don't
I'll
they
miss
have it?
Zippies a lot.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
well, it's
don't
in
not.
Vegas.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah,
when I visit my boyfriend, I can go to Vegas. But
yeah. Oh,
um,
boyfriend. Okay, that's the first time I
yeah,
heard
dude,
you
it's
say that. Yeah.
official. It's official.
All right.
Somebody actually bagged me. No, yeah. So when I go to Vegas, I'll go for sure. I'm
Okay.
hoping they still keep me on as an ambassador
Oh,
because like maybe
guarantee.
I can be a Vegas ambassador.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, you were there
Um,
when they opened, right? Like you
I
helped open
was,
it.
and they're
Yeah.
opening another location, so I would love to like be a Vegas ambassador if anybody's watching.
All
Um,
right.
I'll miss it. That's a true, genuine statement. I'll miss Zippies. Friends and family is the toughest part. I'll miss the culture as well. I don't sound like a local girl, but I am one.
Yeah.
I am one at heart and in my soul. So I will miss that aspect of kind of like, just like Hawaii people are so different from any other culture. Like I went to college in Portland. It's so different from anywhere else. And
Yeah.
so I'm gonna miss that kind of environment. I'm gonna miss knowing where everything is because
Oh, yeah. That's a
When I go to
good
San
one.
Diego, I'm gonna have to map everything out. So I think that's gonna be like the three main things that I'll miss the most. But I mean, number one is like family and friends is number one by far. Like,
Yeah.
I was talking to my brother and I was like about to cry, like thinking about leaving him because my brother and I are besties, you know? So
Yeah.
I was like starting to cry thinking about it, like that I'm gonna be, you know, because he right now he only lives like 5 minutes down the road from me, and even my sister too, only like 7 minutes down the road. So like that's gonna be really hard.
Yeah.
Leaving my parents is gonna be really hard, like especially, I mean, my mom's gonna miss me, but leaving my dad is gonna be really hard. That's gonna be really hard for me. But when I did that interview in San Diego, I called all of them. I called my brother, I called my sister, I called my dad, I called my mother, all separately. And they all said amongst the same thing of that we support you. We know this is your passion. We know this is what's in your heart and we love you. But my dad, especially, like mostly because he financially provides. But but I, you know, like that I guess because I have so much respect for him and so much love for him, say like really makes an effect on me. And he was the kind of like the determining factor of him being like, we love you, like we'll support you, we're going to take care of you no
Yeah.
matter what. And not really like I would not, and you'll hear this at the goodbye party, you'll hear this at the going away party, but I would not be able to do it without him. Like I mean both of my parents, but especially my dad, I would not be able to do it without him. I would not. If he did not say I'm going to support you, I would not be able to do it. There's no way. And so I have a lot of gratitude, and you'll get this because I know you'll do the same for Arya.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like what you
However
just
you
said.
can
Wait,
support, yeah.
when you just said like your parents, like your dad's going up there because you're moving, like you were being in college, I was like, fuck, I'd be doing the same thing. If Arya's moving to the mainland, I'm definitely going to help her. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to prep for that. I was just telling her today, because I make her breakfast every morning, and she's like, Dad, if you wanna sleep in a little bit more, I can just get breakfast at school. And I'm like, no way. Like, I have
Mm.
3 more years to make you breakfast every morning. And after that 3 years, you're gonna go to college, and I'm gonna want to make breakfast for you every morning. And then you won't be here. So I don't give a shit if I gotta wake up 2 hours early. Like I'm down to do it. Like those moments are priceless for me. And it's something that she's gonna remember forever. Like every time she has
Oh yeah.
breakfast, she's gonna remember I made it for her every morning. And
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
but it was
Well,
cute that
first of all,
she was trying to get me more sleep. But yeah, I don't care about that. You know what I mean?
like I remember my grandpa making breakfast for me when I was in elementary school. Vienna sausage, he used to make me French toast, regular toast. What else would he make? Sometimes I would eat Cheerios.
Yeah,
I remember all of those moments with my grandpa. And then I remember those moments with my dad as well. Of my
yeah.
dad. My dad didn't necessarily have the time to make breakfast, but he would take me in the morning. So it would alternate between McDonald's breakfast or coffee bean and tea leaf breakfast.
Oh
And he
yeah,
used
yeah,
to get me, yeah, he used to get me a cinnamon raisin bagel with double strawberry cream cheese. See what I mean? Like I'll never forget it.
yeah.
But also like everyone who knows me knows my dad spoils me a little more than everybody else. But to be fair, I'm his baby. I'm his baby. Like
Yeah.
my brother was telling me, he was like, Beck, dad is gonna miss you a lot.
Oh
He was
yeah,
like
yeah,
I don't. I mean, he has my sister. I think because my sister's here and she's established a life here, he doesn't really have to like think about that. But I've always expressed, and you know this too. You've told me this that I'm meant for something bigger
oh
than
yeah,
Hawaii. Like,
100%. Yeah,
so they, you know, they known that too. So he's known you're meant for bigger than this. Like you've always
yeah,
meant to be growing into a bigger space. And so he knew that was inevitable. And
yeah.
so, I mean, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. I
Well,
didn't cry at college because I always knew I was coming back.
yeah,
But
yeah,
this is like, am I ever coming back? You know what my brother said? When I told my brother about my boyfriend that lives in Vegas, my brother goes, fuck, you're never coming back.
Yeah,
And
Vegas,
I was
San
like,
Diego. Yo, that's yeah.
I was like, look, never say never, but in the line of work, like, okay, and I'm gonna say it like this. I don't get into a relationship unless I think long term.
Yeah.
I just don't think you should. Like, if you don't think long term with the person that you're in a relationship with, you shouldn't be in a relationship with them in
Yeah.
general. So when I'm thinking long term, like in the line of work that he does, it would be very hard to do that in Hawaii. And then the
Mhm.
same thing with me for that matter. Being on a
Yeah.
morning show in Hawaii is kind of like the highest you can go besides being a program director. It's, maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't.
Yeah.
So like even for me that I kind of went the highest that I could go. So yeah, but
But
it's
talking to Jimmy the Geek, he left and he came
yeah.
back for radio and like he's running the show that he used to listen to in the morning going to school with the same dude that
Jimmy is
I
a
used to listen to. Yeah.
Jimmy is
Yeah.
a fucking champ. I love
Oh
Jimmy the
yeah.
Geek.
Yeah,
I
he's a
loved
good
everybody
dude.
that I worked with.
Yeah. Yeah.
I loved everybody that I worked with. How was that podcast, by the way?
It was fun. I was a fan of him from when I was
Three
young.
Local Boys?
Yeah. Yeah.
You should have
Race
Ryan on
baby.
here.
Huh?
You should have Ryan on here.
I will. Yeah, I want to. I don't know him personally, I don't think. Yeah. I met him a
I
couple
mean,
times. Yeah.
I think he would be so down to do it. He's so funny. And
Yeah,
Ryan is another
I
one that's,
definitely.
I mean, they've both been supportive. They've both been supportive of me and my career, but Ryan especially, like, especially when it comes to my creative endeavors, he's always been
Yeah.
super supportive.
What are they
So
doing now?
Ryan is doing like stocks and he's still doing like trading and stuff like that. Sam is doing some
Oh.
sort of like audio visual thing.
Mm.
I'm not 100% sure. But they're both doing well. They were both super supportive of my decision. And I told them before it was announced to everybody else.
Yeah.
Actually, I told quite a few people before it was announced to
Yeah.
everybody. I
I know
actually, I
when you came out with the video announcing like I'm moving to San Diego, I'm like, didn't you fucking tell me that like a month ago?" And then
yeah,
like,
I did. I
oh,
did.
she didn't tell like she didn't put it out there
I didn't
yet.
tell every. You know why? Because I like. I don't want to sound like an asshole, but there were a few people that I might have like forgotten to invite to the going away party or something. You know what
Oh
I mean?
yeah.
Like, and I just wanted to make sure that anybody who I wanted to say goodbye to knew with
Yeah.
enough time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, it was. I had to make that video, and it took me 45 minutes to make that 2 minute video. By the
Yeah.
way,
Got to do it right though. You have to do it right. It was perfect though. Yeah.
I'm glad. I'm glad. My mom said
And
she liked it, so
what you said even when you made the sad video, it's you're getting Becky Mits. You're not getting
yeah, no.
the showman or the representative. You're getting the
No,
real
I'll
Becky Mits.
never.
Yeah.
Somebody gave me really good advice, somebody who was in the radio industry, and he said, you don't have to tell them everything, but you can still be honest about some things. And so, like, for example, my relationship, I'm going to keep that as private as I can, but I still am comfortable enough sharing that I'm in one, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Like, it's not something I'm going to post about. You know why? Because I feel like sometimes relationships on social media, especially for someone who's a content creator like me, can kind of get lost in translation and
Yeah.
it can kind of turn into a like a showmanship like oh I like it can get kind of flat. I just I really like care about this, so I want to make sure that I take care of it more than I do want to post it on social media. I think in previous relationships, I've been like, okay, I want to show people that I'm not single.
Yeah.
I want to show people that I have a boyfriend. I want to show people that I'm wanted. And now I'm like, I'm secure enough where I'm like, I know that that's happening for me. So I don't feel the need to have to prove it to anybody
Yeah.
else.
Exactly. That's
Right.
exactly right.
Yeah, right. But at the same time, I've always been about transparency. I've always been about being open. And when it came to, I'm going to tell you why I made the videos that I did. I cannot stand when people will post super ambiguous announcements. And then everybody is like asking, oh, what happened? I wonder. I'm going to give you an example. I will call out Sam and Ryan for this. I'll tell them this to their face. Their post about them leaving the radio station was so ambiguous. Everybody and their mom called me. What happened to Sam and Ryan? I was getting calls on the air. What happened to them? Can you tell us? And I was like, that's none of my business what they decide to say. That's none of my
Yeah.
business. It's their business. And
Yeah.
after that situation, I was like, I'm just going to tell people straight up what the fuck is happening. Like,
Yeah.
here's what's happening. I got let go. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
Here's what's
Then you didn't
happening.
have to
I'm
worry about
leaving
answering
Crave.
all that shit. Just watch the video again if you don't understand. Yeah.
Exactly. And it does make me feel a little bit like an asshole of being like, oh, like what makes you think that people care about what you're doing? But at
No,
least
people
I
do
don't have to
care
like,
though. People
do they
wouldn't
though?
follow you. People wouldn't follow you if they didn't, or they wouldn't be fans of you if they didn't. Like fans from your work that you were doing, you created fans. People love to listen to you. So people connected to you every single morning and you became part of their life, their morning ritual, their drive to work, their start of the day. So when something gets changed, they're like connected to, they're gonna wanna
Right.
know. Yeah. And you have fans. That's just the bottom line. You have fans. So because of that, they're gonna wanna know it. So it's not like you're conceited to think like, oh, people wanna know what I'm doing. Yes, they fucking do. So you gotta tell them because you created a situation where you have fans, and fans are gonna wanna know who's what's happening to the people that they're fans of. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah.
Fans feels like, oh man, it's always made me the term fans has always made me feel uncomfortable,
Well,
which is
friends,
why friends, which
friends.
is why I
Yeah,
always use the term friends and I
that makes
always use the
sense. Yeah,
term your friend Becky Mits because I
yeah.
never feel like I'm above you. I feel like I'm your colleague. I'm your person.
Okay,
Now,
that makes
granted,
sense. Yeah.
there
So,
are
like you
creepy
said,
people
friends.
who I'm
Oh
like,
yeah,
you're not my friend.
yeah. You
But
probably got a bunch of them.
not a bunch, but
Yeah,
there are people who I'm like, we're not friends. But
yeah,
for the most part, like a listener who listens to the show, I don't think of you as a fan. I think of you as a friend because you have to be a friend to be supporting me in that way.
yeah,
So like that's how I've always felt. I've never felt like you're a fan. Like I just never felt that way. I'm always like genuinely so grateful for people who do listen and people who do watch. And the video that I posted, it was a great way for me to answer a ton of questions at once.
yeah.
Because they were gonna figure out like why are you living in San Diego? Like what are you doing, what you're doing. So it was a great way for me to kind of answer all those questions at once. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm leaving Crave. I'm telling you when I'm leaving Crave, and I'm telling you why I'm leaving Crave and what's
Uh-huh.
happening and where I'm going. Like I'm not about to be ambiguous about the whole situation. I
Yep.
need
And
more
plus,
wine,
too,
excuse
now
me.
if people ask you, you can just send them the link to that video.
I mean, I've done that before when people have asked me about Sam and Ryan. They've been like, "Oh, what happened with Sam and Ryan?" And I'm like, I just send them the link. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Listen, it's really none of my business to tell you like what's happening with them." Or, "Oh, I'm sorry. God, I'm
No
so
worries.
sorry."
No worries.
That's what happens when I'm carrying a dog at the same time. Yeah, so like even when it came to Sam and Ryan, I was like, you can ask them yourself because it's really not my business to share. It's really
Yeah, for
not.
sure. Yep.
It's not my business to share. Like it's their business about what they want to say. Because from what I understood, when they got let go, they didn't want to tell people they got let go. They kind of wanted to keep it like ambiguous in terms of maybe we left on our own terms,
Oh,
maybe
I
we got
see.
let go. Yeah, and so they kind of wanted to keep that ambiguous. And so I wanted to make sure that they had the I hope you cut that out because my outfit from the bottom down is not great. The I respected their decision of how they wanted to tell people. So when people would call me, I would just say like go to their post, ask them yourself because
Yeah.
it's really none of my business. But when it
Yep.
came to me, you can ask me anything you want. Now, what I answer with or don't answer with is kind of up to me.
Yeah.
Same thing
Yep.
with them, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why my videos are so transparent and they're so open is because I just rather not deal with the questions. But I also
Yeah.
don't want you to think that I think I'm so like, oh, like people want to know all this about me. It's just like I'd just rather answer all the questions right here, right
Yeah.
now, and get it over with.
But
You
like
know?
I said, people do want to know. And that shows. And I am excited to see how your career takes off and how you handle this new job and what heights you're gonna reach. And I think this is still another stepping stone. This ain't your end goal. Yeah, I
We'll
think.
see. You know I'll do my best.
Yeah,
You know
I
I'll do
think
my
so.
best.
And I think you're gonna have a lot of fun. I mean, you're gonna experience a whole new a whole new lifestyle, and it takes a lot of guts to bet on yourself and move your whole life to chase after your dream. And a lot of people don't have that strength. So props to you because it ain't easy. And like you're moving, you're doing all this for your dream, and fuck, that's fucking cool. Like that's super cool. And a lot of people can't, and a lot of people won't, and a lot of people aren't strong enough to. And that's
You
never
know,
been your flaw, you know what I mean?
my dad told me this. I've been telling a lot of people this, which is the truth, but my dad told me this, which is number one, I'm I'm single, like where I'm not married. I don't have children, and I don't
Yeah.
really, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't really have like anybody that I have to like move with me to San Diego.
Yeah.
Two, my dad told me this, Beck, if you never take a chance now, you'll never take a chance ever again in your life. You're
Oh,
still
that's a good
young.
one.
Yeah, he's like, you're still young. You know, you still got all this time. You don't want to not take this chance. And then 10 years from now, be like, I should have. What would happen to my life if I did take that chance? He's like, you don't want to think that.
Yeah. Yep.
So it was just everything worked out the way it did. And I it's gonna sound crazy, but I knew it was going like I knew my life was going to change. I knew it was. I just didn't know how it was going to change, but I knew it was.
Yeah. And I knew it too. And I knew that something good was gonna come from all this. And
But you always told me, like, in conversations over the phone and in person, you've always said, like, I think you're meant for something more than Hawaii, bigger
yeah.
than Hawaii. Like, I believe, like, you've always said that.
Yeah.
So
I said that to Taylor too, so he got to get the fuck out of here too.
he will
Yeah.
with time.
Yep. But yeah, I'm interested to see the levels you reach. And yeah, it'll be cool. And Hawaii's always home, and aloha you can always bring. So it'll be cool. And we're
I'll
all a
keep
phone
coming
call
home,
away. Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
I'll keep coming home. Whenever you're in Vegas or in
Yeah.
Anaheim, I'll be there. So,
For sure. For sure.
mhm.
And yeah, it'll be cool. And I think yeah, you're gonna appreciate Hawaii more, of course, when you're not here.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
definitely.
yeah.
Definitely. Every time I was in the mainland, like living there when I was in college, when I was doing the Disney college program, I always like missed or I missed home to a certain extent. I always represented home. Like even the stuff that I packed, I was like, okay, I want to pack things that like make me remind me of home, you know?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
speaking of
definitely.
packing, how are you bringing all those boxes? You gonna put it in a
Okay.
container or?
So for the most part, I'm gonna be taking suitcases.
Oh,
In
okay.
terms of these boxes, I'm probably just gonna ask my parents to ship it,
Oh,
to
okay.
be honest. But it's not a rush. All these items I packed in boxes are not rush. Like for example, this box right here is not a rush.
Oh, okay.
My backpack is in there just because it was on my chair originally, but this is not a rush. So all the clothes that are in there is not a rush. It's like I want them, I want to take them with me, but it's not a rush to like have them with me immediately. So everything that I've been packing in my suitcases is like things that I want immediately, that I want in my apartment right away.
Okay.
And I already set aside like clothes and items to put in my carry-on because I'm gonna have to take my dogs with me. So I have
Oh
like
yeah.
I'll show you here. Hang on. I have two dog carriers because I have two dogs, and I'm getting them used to this. Oh my God, why is this on my ear? I have this purple one here,
Oh,
and I
okay.
have this pink one here. Getting them ready for that's gonna be my personal item or my mom's personal item.
Oh, nice.
And then I'm gonna take a carry-on with me. So the night that I get in, or the day that I get in, it's gonna be an Airbnb. And then I move in that same day. So like probably later on in the day, we'll grab the keys and then we'll kind of go from there. But I'm not gonna have a bed right away. So like
Oh,
I'm gonna have
yeah.
to stay in the Airbnb for it. Like all I need is a bed, to be honest. All I need is a bed. Everything else can come with time. The
Yeah.
couch, everything else can come with time. I just need a bed to
Well,
sleep in and
at
then
least they have IKEA in the mainland. They don't have that shit
I
here.
know
Yeah.
that's exactly where we're going. We're going to
Yeah.
IKEA.
Yeah. Get the
That's where
meatballs.
we went for college too.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Just my advice for you is label all those boxes what's in it, because I've moved
Mm,
multiple times and I realized that was the biggest help. That's a big help. Like write down like
that's
living
a good
room
idea.
shit, kitchen
Shout out to
shit. Yeah.
Goodwill. Goodwill is
Yeah.
getting half of my stuff. So shout out to
Oh,
Goodwill. You're getting half of my
nice.
stuff.
Well, I know you got to get back to your packing, and we've been going for an hour and a half, and I probably could talk to you for another 2 more hours. And
I know.
it's gonna be, for me personally, it's gonna suck that you're not here, but it'll be a phone call away. I'll be in the mainland multiple times. You'll be back here multiple times, and you gotta
I'm back for
come.
your wedding. I
Yep.
will see you in April. Like you're gonna be at my going away party. There's gonna be a lot of
Yeah.
times you're gonna see me.
And you gotta come to our new event once you come back here. That's for sure. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, definitely.
But yeah, you'll be missed by a lot of us. And um it's always good to know, like, prior, like, maybe I don't see you as much, but at least I know I could. You know what I mean? Now it's gonna be like, oh
Yes.
fuck, now I cannot. But I wish you the best. I think everybody listening wishes you the best, because you're like my guests, uh they really like you on my show. So I think they're gonna miss you. But we'll do this once a year. Just you're gonna be in San Diego, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we're looking forward to your going away party. What is that? What is that even like? How, is it like a formal thing? Like, how is that gonna be? Like, we're just gonna go over there and cruise.
Yeah. Um, it says no host bar, but surprise, Papa Ernie, my dad, is gonna be giving everybody at least two drinks each.
Oh
So
no.
yeah, at least. So to two drinks to start. I'll show you my dress. I have it hanging up here. Hang on. It's gonna be this really pretty, like floral, like
Okay, that's
rainbow.
definitely a Becky Mits dress.
I know it so is.
Yeah.
That's what everybody says. Is it's very Becky Mits. But yeah, no, we're gonna have a good time. I don't plan on being sober for any of it.
Oh
So,
yeah. Sasha probably
and we're
gonna
gonna eat
have to drive.
pizza.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, we're gonna eat pizza, and it's mostly like I would love for you to meet my parents.
for sure.
Because they definitely know that you're like a good friend in my life, and you can meet other friends of mine. My grandparents are gonna be there, my aunts, my uncles. So it'll be fun, and it's gonna be super casual. Yeah, like I said, I'm
Yeah.
gonna be wearing this, so
All
it'll be fun.
right. Well,
Yeah.
we wish you the best. Where can people find you on social media?
Oh, okay. At Becky Mitts for now.
Yeah.
In terms of like the radio and like a podcast in the future, at Becky Mitts, Mits, or BECKYMITS is where you're gonna find me no matter what. That's always
And
gonna be me.
yeah, and they can follow whatever stuff you have on there to get to your other links and stuff.
Yes. Also, download the free iHeartRadio app because that's where you're gonna be able to listen to Star 90 for one. And then maybe in the future, other radio stations. You never know.
Yep.
I'm gonna never say never.
Yep. Download this iHeartRadio app, because you can also get this podcast on there. Yep, for
Yes, I
sure.
have listened to this
Yeah.
podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
Yep. Perfect. Okay, and as always, our social media is Above the Bridge Podcast on Instagram, Facebook. You can also go to our YouTube channel, Above the Bridge Podcast. Our website is atbpod.com, and my personal Instagram is Thaddy Daddy High. All right,
Okay.
well, we're out. Shakas for the cameras.
Yay.
We're out. Shout out to the Artist Groove Network. Aloha.